This is the 2026 Honda Pilot Touring. Did Honda make the right changes? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana to go over this modern steel metallic with brown interior 26 Pilot and show you the changes and go over the basic information as well, just so you can see what it's all about. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. So let's talk about exterior changes. And while this is obviously a refresh, not a full redesign, here on the front end, you're going to notice a wider grille to give it a more aggressive look and stance. Going to have that gloss black finish here, but here's something you might not know or expect here on the Touring trim level. Right here, the front camera. We're going to show you that and what that looks like on the screen. It has the 360-degree view camera. All of that's going to be here. Some very significant changes where that's concerned. We're going to have the chrome brow across the top of the grille between the hood line and the grille itself. And as we work our way down here, you're also going to notice a different look with the front bumper. Again, meant to make it look a little more aggressive. And this area right here may not look like it, but you have some nice large active air curtains. I don't know if you can see the daylight through there or not. It might be kind of hard to see, but that's going to be another change as far as the design of the bumper and this area right here. Tell me what you think about that. Now, here's what we won't see change. You're still going to have your LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and turn signal indicators, in addition to the LED fog lights. Let me get my leg out of the way there. On this model, you're going to have all-wheel drive. And we're going to have the wheel design here that I'm very curious to know. What do you think about these wheels? I know everybody has their opinions. You're going to find new wheels on certain trim levels as far as the Pilot goes. And by the way, these are 20-inch wheels. Now, we're going to work our way up to the side view mirrors. Turn signal indicators built in. You're going to have the modern steel metallic for your mirror cap. They're heated, they're power adjustable, blind spot monitoring will be here, and something that I know is a very popular feature among a lot of you, they're also going to be power folding. And here is your remote. You're going to have lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate. You also have your panic button right here. Now, one thing to note here, as far as the remote goes, if the remote or the key fob, the battery dies in here and you can't lock and unlock the vehicle, here's what you do. You've got a button right here. You're going to push on that button and you get a key out right here. Now, the trick is knowing where to put that. So here's what's going to happen is you're going to have to open the door or pull on the door handle like that, and underneath is where the lock is, where you're going to insert that. Just one of those nice little things that it's good to know about. Something else that's new for 2026 that's going to be standard: roof rails across all trim levels, not just here on the Touring and above. So no matter what trim level you go with, you can get your crossbars and increase your cargo capacity. As we work our way to the back, we're still going to have our LED tail lights. The thing here, if you go all-wheel drive like this model, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Otherwise, you can tow about 3,500 when you go with front-wheel drive. Under the hood is the dual overhead cam 3.5-liter V6. It is a naturally aspirated engine. It is not turbocharged for those of you that are interested in such a thing. It makes 285 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque, and it will be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And on this all-wheel drive model, let's talk about MPGs. There's kind of a glare out here, so I'm going to tell you what they are because you might not be able to see them. 19 city, 25 highway, 21 combined, and 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. You'll still have the 18.5-gallon gas tank. On a single tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 350 miles in the city, 460 miles out on the highway, 390 miles combined. But something to consider, you may be above or below those numbers depending on a multitude of variables, but those are the potentials. And let's talk about cargo space. Now, there's a few different ways you can gain access to your interior cargo. The remote, there's a button on the interior itself, or you can just kick your foot under the bumper just like that, and it's going to open up. Now, we've already folded everything down as far as the seats go, but here are your cubic feet details. 18.6 behind the third row. You lower the third row down, you're looking at 48.5. If you lower all of the rows down, both, 110 cubic feet is what you're going to have. Now, something I'm really happy to report here, you still have a spare tire. I know there's vehicles out there that don't, but the Pilot has and always will. Now, we're going to have a 12-volt power outlet right here, and we'll come back to this area in just a second because there's something very important there I want to show you. But right here, you're going to have a lot of cargo space, additional space. Now, you can actually remove the middle seat in the second row right there. That's nothing new, and store it right here. You also have the double-sided floor that you can flip over and put in here in the same way that's been able to be done for a long time. Now, I'm going to push this button right here. You heard that beep. There's your button. This is called the walk-away feature. Let's say that I was gathering up grocery bags or whatever I'm doing back here. In fact, I'm just going to sit back here and talk to you for just a few seconds. Whatever I'm gathering up, I hit that button first, and then it allows me to simply walk away like this, and watch what's going to happen. You're going to hear a couple of beeps, and then the power tailgate is going to go ahead and close. Just one of the many options that you have to make life a little bit more simple. All right, let's talk about what your second and third row passengers will find. First of all, let's talk about what you'll find up here. The panoramic sunroof, nothing new, but it's been here for a few years, but it is here, worth noting. That front portion will tilt and slide open. You also have a power shade that can be drawn back and forth depending on what you want to do with that area. Now, let's talk about our door panel right here. Plenty of room with the armrest. I like that it's nice and flat. You can see some of the color contrast here with the brown interior. And you also have your shade that you can put in place if you want to with the window. Manually put that in place if you'd like to. All you got to do is lift up on it like that, or your passengers can do that and put that in place. And plenty of room with the, I'll say, upper door bin, which is going to be right here. Got a couple of cup holders here, and then space beneath. Now, here's the good news. You can recline all of the seats right here. All three of them do recline separately. You have to pull up on this release right here to recline the seat right there. And then obviously you do the same over there. Something else that is really nice for your third row passengers is you can move these seats back and forth. Now, you can't do that with the middle seat, but with the outboard seats. And then on the side of the seat, I'm going to show you a couple of things here that are important. Number one, that release right there, that's how you lower the seat back down. But to get the seat up and out of the way so you can get to the third row, we hit that button right there on the side. And I am going to hop into the third row. And hopefully you can see it's not terrible. Adults can definitely fit back here, but you can see that my leg space is a little bit on the limited side, depending on where these seats are positioned. So there is some room for potential improvement where that is concerned. Now, we're going to talk about what we have over here. A couple of cup holders, air conditioning vent, and way back here, a USB port. That's going to be over here on the passenger side and over there on the driver's side too. And one last important detail. If the middle row passengers forget about the third row passengers, there's another button just like what we saw on the side of the seat that we can push and get the seat up and out of the way. How about your second row? Plenty of space, obviously a little bit more. Now, depending on where these front seats are set, will determine how much leg space your middle row passengers have, but plenty of room, very comfortable, seat pockets on the rear of the driver and passenger seats. And then here in the center, we're going to have our air conditioning vents. We're going to have the controls for the third zone of climate control. You're going to have temperature here, fan speed, control a few different things here depending on what you want to do. And then right down here, the USB ports. So a little bit of everything that I know you'll want for your passengers. Okay, how about the sticker price? $52,590 for this 26 Pilot Touring. Let's see what else you get for the price. Power adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger. Nice large armrests and door bins for the front seat doors or the front doors. And I like the space right here that Honda offers because it's just a little something extra in addition to the glove box. You're also going to have the packet right there. That little package that you see, a little bag, is for your wheel lock key if you need to use that. And we have all of our controls up here for your SOS, for your power shade and your power sunroof to activate all of that. Your sunglass holder, and there is the sunglass holder with the conversation mirror. And we'll work our way over here. You're going to have a couple of settings for seat memory. There's the button to open and close the power tailgate. And then all of your traditional things that you're used to seeing here, you can push this button, as I did earlier, to fold and unfold those mirrors and then adjust everything here for your left and right mirrors right there. Just choose accordingly. lock, unlock, all of that for your doors, your windows, and one touch down, one touch up for all of the windows at all 4 doors. The steering wheel is going to be tilt and telescopically adjustable when you drop that lever. Now, one thing that's different here is there's differences in how the interior is now built as far as being able to cancel out noise. Honda's saying up to 2 decibels, so we'll see out on the test drive. Here's your driver's display. Nothing new where that is concerned, but just to show you some of the things that are here, you can go through some of the features. You can actually change the overall look of the driver's display. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that are both wireless. And something that I didn't talk about earlier in the video, you see adaptive cruise control right here. You have Honda Sensing. That's going to be adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist, and traffic jam assist. Also, your shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel. Right here, your lever for controlling your front and rear window wipers, and everything over here for your headlights. You can leave that on auto. You can turn your fog lights on and off, and it's your turn signal lever too, for those of you who have been to turn signal school. Now, we have the new to the Pilot 12.3-inch touchscreen. For those of you that have been saying, Tom, the 9-inch screen is too small. What do you think about this? And in addition to this being the control for your front and rear window wipers, you also have this button right here. What happens when you go to your 12.3-inch touchscreen is you have your different camera views. So tell me what you think about that. That's a very nice feature. Front and side views. You also have the 360-degree view camera right there. And here is your backup camera. And this is the 12.3-inch touchscreen new to the Pilot for 2026. For those of you that have said the 9-inch screen was too small, what do you think about this? I'm curious to know. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as I said earlier. You have Google Assistant, Google Maps. All of that good stuff is going to be here. Alexa, you're going to have the ability to come right here to vehicle settings, and there's a lot going on here. I'm not going to go through everything, but you have a few different options here, quite a few different options as to what you can do. You can change the view, and if the exterior color on the screen doesn't match the exterior color on your Pilot, guess what? You can come right here and change the color so that it does match. Say if it was black or red or whatever the case is, you can come in here and choose accordingly. Now that only changes the color on the screen, not the exterior itself. I actually had somebody who thought that's what I was saying one time on a vehicle, an Accord or something like that. Maybe it was an Acura, but they said that and they really were serious. That surprised me. But you can see what all's going on here. You've got your general settings. Everything is here. If you don't see what you need within the vehicle settings, it may be here. So make sure you check that out. Very nice, very easy to use. Now you're going to have a few different options over here on the right hand side. You can't actually get rid of what you have over here and have this take up the entirety of the screen. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is with the way this is designed. Still going to have our dual zone climate control up here. We can obviously control what is going on in the rear if we want to. You're going to have your heated seats, and then we'll find our USB connectivity down here, a 12-volt power outlet. Your wireless charging pad. I still wonder with the extra space right here why Honda doesn't just move that over just a tiny bit. You can have 2 wireless charging pads. And something that people either hate or they don't, no change here. I know a lot of you were hoping for that, but you still have the push button shifter. Tell me what your thoughts are where that is concerned. And you're going to have your power parking brake, your brake hold, hill start assist and hill descent control, and your idle stop or auto stop start feature is turned on or off right there. And how about your driving modes? Let's take a look at what they are. Now we're going to start with normal. You go to Econ, you can see the accompanying graphics that go with that. We're going to have snow, trail, sand, and then tow. And then we go all the way back up to the top. You already saw it, but there is sport mode. Cup holders and a very nice large center console. You can use that lid for an armrest, or you can store whatever you need to on the inside. All right, here we go on the test drive. We're going to do the railroad track test first. That experience in and of itself tells me that you can definitely tell a difference in the noise coming into the cabin as far as what we had with the last few years with this current generation of the Pilot. Now I'm going to let you listen. And I don't know that you can really tell a huge difference. I can tell a little bit of a difference in the noise, road noise that you're going to get, road noise, wind noise, compared to what we've had in the last few years with the Pilot. So there is a little bit of a difference, maybe not a great big difference, not a huge difference, but one way or another, with the improvements made to the interior to cancel out some of that noise, as Honda has advertised, about 2 decibels worth. But overall, the Pilot still remains a great 3-row SUV with plenty of space for the first and second row passengers, and you do have a reasonable amount for the third row. Maybe not as much as in the first and second rows, but you do have that space available. So if the adults need to sit in the back, they can, but overall, definitely first and second row for adults. Third row, perfect for the kids. Just depends on the situation. And I like that the technology here, while it has changed, is still just as easy to learn and use as it's been the last few years when you had the maximum of that 9-inch touchscreen that so many people said, oh, that's too small. I'm curious if anybody says that about this 12.3. Overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. Very versatile because you're going to have all of this space for passengers and for cargo. You're also going to have the ability to take advantage of all-wheel drive in this particular instance. While all-wheel drive isn't standard on all models of the Pilot, for those of you that need it, it is available if you're dealing with the low traction situations throughout the year, dealing with a lot of snow and ice, something I'm grateful that I don't have to very often here in Northwest Louisiana. That's a good thing for me. You'll also find that the brake pedal and the gas pedal are very easy to manage. The steering is nice and responsive, and depending on your situation, you can set everything up here with the driver's seat and the steering wheel to help out and make sure that you're nice and comfortable and you fit really well no matter your height. So tell me what you think about the changes to the 2026 Honda Pilot, and as we get additional trim levels to show you, we'll do that. I'm curious to receive your feedback. I'd like to say a special thanks to our friends at Holmes Honda for loaning us this Pilot for the day so we could tell you all about it, tell you what the changes are, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you'd like to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.